everyone, Mitch coming in from the Commander Core studio. Welcome to the show. So on today's episode, we jump into some commanders that you need to have your eye out for because if they are left alone, they absolutely are going to be taking the game over, and then it's going to be too late. Let's jump into it. So, first up, well, I kind of bucketed these commanders into some different sections, and Truthis Sprouire most definitely falls into Creature Flood. This is one where, once it gets going, there is absolutely no stopping it. A 1/1 Saproling with Trample for 3 mana in green. I believe, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong on this, the actual first Saproling in Magic that is not just a token, which is pretty crazy. That being said, also the first legendary Saproling. Anyways, whenever a Saproling you control deals counter to a player, create that many 1/1 green Saproling creature tokens. This is insane. Again, literally it says any Saproling making Saproling. So that means that the Saprolings that you make with this Saproling make more Saprolings, which Saproling. Did you follow that? Basically, you get a lot of power on this, you hit someone, and all of a sudden you've got an army of Saplings. Let's say 10. Then all of a sudden you swing again with that army, plus this, commander, and then you hit again, and all of a sudden now you've got 20, and then you've got 40, and then you've got, you see where this is going, basically exponential Sapling growth, and of course, this just gets even more exponential once you get anthems involved, because every single one of those little 1/1 Saplings normally would be making 1 Sapling when you hit, but then let's say you just have even like a Gaia's Anthem in play. 1 extra power, okay. All of a sudden you're like, hey, you know what? Now I get 2 Saplings per Sapling that hits. Or how about, that one card that, makes all your creatures into 6/6 oozes. Oh, okay, 6 per Sapling hit. Yeah, once this gets going, it snowballs and there is no stopping it. But of course, Cranco literally just bashed down the door to my house to get in here and say, why didn't you mention me first? I'm sorry, Cranco. I'm so sorry. Yeah, Creature Flood, you're kind of the king of that, and you are definitely in the most popular commanders category for a reason. Cranco Mob Boss, a 3/3 Goblin Warrior for 4 mana in red. Tap, create X 1/1 Goblin creature tokens, Rex the number of goblins you control. Again, literally, if left unchecked, this just becomes the most goblins of all time. At first, it seems cute, right? As an opponent, you're like, okay, you tapped and you made 2 goblins. Good for you. All right, I'm going to go do my other thing over here. 3 turns later, you're like, how do you have 112 goblins? And why is it 112? What happened to the other goblins? Like, shouldn't it be like, never mind. Don't worry about it. Okay, yeah. Cranco is absolutely absurd if left unchecked. It is going to flood you in absolutely no time and take over the game in a variety of ways. I mean, Impact Tremors, Perforos, or just swinging with goblins. Yeah, that's going to be happening. Oh, and Cranco just knocked down my door again because I forgot to mention that there is a link to all these commanders, including Cranco, in the description below. Of course, I also have, Cranco, decks built around Cranco. Make sure you check those out. That being said, Mono White Cranco is here to say, not knocking down my door. Myrell's Shield of Argive is not that brash, but anyways, a 3/4 Human Soldier for 4 mana in white, maybe more polite, I should say, than Cranco. That's a low bar. During your turn, your opponents can't cast spells or activate abilities of artifacts, creatures, or enchantments. That's nice. On top of that, when it attacks, create X 1/1 color soldier artifact creature tokens for X number of soldiers you control. Now, this one is kind of like the mono white version of Cranco again. When you attack, you basically get that doubling effect. So yeah, you can get exponential soldier growth, which is absolutely crazy. That being said, of course, it's not as easily usable and abusable as Cranco, because with Cranco, you can use threaten effects to untap and use it again. But there is a change here where, although, yeah, you can't just easily, do that twice in a turn, because you're in mono white, you don't have extra turn spells, really. This one essentially says, though, hey, you know what? Your opponents can't do stuff on your turn, for the most part. So being able to say, oh, I protect myself on my turn, and essentially, if left unchecked on my opponent's turns, it's gonna get crazy because you can't stop me on my turn. Yeah, definitely a very powerful commander, and one that, if left unchecked, will go crazy. Let's keep things rolling, and speaking of rolling, wheels! Zyus the Writhing Storm, a 3/5 Snake Leviathan with flying for 5 mana in Teamer. Whenever an opponent draws a card except the first one they draw on each of their turns, draw steps I should say, create a 1/1 green snake creature token. When Zyus the Writhing Storm deals combat to a player, you and that player each draw that many cards. Now, if it was just that effect, it was like, hey, you know what, I hit you, we each draw 3 cards, and there you go, I make some snakes, good for me. That'd still be good, but here's the thing. Like I mentioned earlier, wheels. Yeah, wheels are definitely a thing, and all of a sudden you just cast like one wheel and you're like, windfall! And everyone's like, oh no. Yeah, you just made everyone draw 7, and you just made 21 snakes for 3 mana. Yep, that's crazy. Yeah, again, literally, if left unchecked, this is just going to be, again, 100 snakes. Basically, in absolutely no time. Even when you're like, all right, oh, okay, we finally cleared the board. We finally did it. All of a sudden, again, they just cast one wheel, and they're all the way back to, again, having 21 snakes on the plane. Also, kind of, speaking of snakes on a plane, like, what is happening here? These snakes are just, like, again, like, Zyus has flying. The snakes don't have flying, so these snakes are just like, ah! And then they're just on the ground, they're fine, right? Like, no fall damage. Anyways! Yeah, I can get out of control. Creature, flooding, Beladros, Witherbloom, yes, that can definitely happen. And of course, an absurd amount of mana too. A 4/4 Elder Dragon with flying for 7 mana. In Golgari, at the beginning of each upkeep, create a 1/1 black-green pest creature token with, when it dies, you get 1 life. Pay 10 life, untap a land you control, activate only once each turn. Now, if left unchecked, you can definitely snowball with this one when it comes to mana, because you basically can double up your mana in a turn. 10 life might seem like a lot, but come on, we're in Commander. You got 40 life. That's only 1/4 of your life total. And of course, we've got ways to life swap. We've got ways to, gain life back. There's plenty of ways to gain life back. I mean, like, your pests can help you with that too. And speaking of the pests, again, that's on every single upkeep, not just your own. So again, each turn you are getting that 4 trips around the table, with each opponent being, part of the whole game of you getting pests too. And you're like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I get a pest. Oh, I get a pest. Oh, I get a pest. You're going to be flooding the board with these in absolutely no time, and flooding the board with mana. I mean, that's not a phrase. Flooding your mana pool? That's not a phrase either. Mana! Finally, in this category, we've got Cosmo Serpent. Again, kind of like Beldros Witherbloom, but on a different level when it comes to that creature token production. I mean, it's the same amount, but it's deadlier. A 6/6 Serpent for 7 mana in Simic. That can't be countered. Yeah, there's a reason why this one's kind of salty. At the beginning of each upkeep, create a 3/3 blue Serpent creature token named Combus Coil. Sacrifice another Serpent, choose 1. Tap target permanent's activated abilities can be activated this turn. Gains indestructible until end of turn. Here's the thing. First of all, what's the difference between a serpent and a snake? Someone let me know in the comments below, because we just had Zyus, which is about snakes, and this one's about serpents. What's the difference? Are they the same thing? I don't know. Anyways, being able to sacrifice those creatures that you're creating just for amazing effects, tapping things down, making it not be able to activate, or also just, giving this indestructible, it's already counterable, essentially. Yeah, it can definitely be a salt-inducing commander for a reason, but yeah, you're going to be flooding the board again, like Beldros, with 1 creature each turn, including on your opponent's turns, but instead of them being 1/1s, they're 3/3s, so you're getting 12 power with each tripper on the table. Yeah, if left unchecked, which again, it's hard to check this one, because you need ways to deal with an indestructible creature. It's going to just absolutely run over its opponents. We're just getting started, though. Next up, we've got Edric Spy Master of Trest, a 2/2 Elf Rogue for 3 mana in Simic. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to one of your opponents, its controller may draw a card. Now, if you're one of the opponents of this commander and you've never played against this commander, you're like, oh, yay! Oh, yay! I get to draw cards when I hit players. Yay! Oh, wait, but not the player that's got this. Okay, so it's the other opponents. That's okay. That's fine. I get to draw a lot of cards. More card draw. Yeah! Here's the problem, and this is the value engine section of Commanders for a reason. The player that's playing Edric has so many more avenues to draw cards than you do, because they built an entire Flying Men deck where basically every single creature is basically a 1/1 for 1 that flies, or is evasive in another way, or unblockable. And they got all those out. I mean, they got literally 3 out before this commander even came out, and then they swing, and then they're drawing 4 cards really, really quickly, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, okay, next turn after that they're drawing 8 cards, and after that they're drawing 12 cards, and then they cast extra turn spells. Yeah, once this one gets going, there's absolutely no stopping it. So again, if you've never played against it, you need to take Edric out. You just need to, because it's going to snowball and take everyone else out if it's left unchecked. Okay, I think the word is out on Tulane, Teller of Tales. Tulane is telling everyone just how amazing Tulane was. Like, hey everyone, by the way, I'm awesome. Yeah, don't left Tulane unchecked. Take Tulane out, because when they printed this, they were like, Yeah, we're really trying to push the whole brawl thing. So yeah, we're making this and Corvold incredibly pushed and crazy. Value engine, yeah, that's maybe even selling it short. Tulane, Teller of Tales, a 2/4 human druid with vigilance for 5 mana and Bant. Whenever you cast a creature spell, draw a card. They may put a land card from your hand on the battlefield. By paying 3, you tap and return target creature control back to its owner's hand. Yeah, being able to go, hey, okay, you know what? Let's just cast creature spells. Let's just draw cards. And when we do, also ramp. Again, when it comes to a value engine, you are getting the 2 most important things in Commander. You're getting card advantage and also land advantage, mana advantage, being able to go up on lands and cards. And again, that land comes into play untapped. Insane. Of course, this also has certain combos, like with, certain Shrieking Drakes that, bounce back to your hand when you play them, and you're like, oh, okay, cool, again and again and again and again and again. Basically playing a blue mana to draw a card and put a land into play, just like Growth Spiral again and again and again. It's absolutely crazy. If left unchecked, your opponents will be crying. Or I guess if you're the opponent of Tulane, you will be crying. Okay, everybody. Let's get together and
dominate opponents with Cascade.
Basically is what Joe the Unifier is saying in this picture. A 5/5 human wizard for 5 mana. The best color combination, all the colors. Wooburg. Legendary creatures you control get +X for X number of legends you control. Legendary creatures. I said legends back in the day. Anyways, whenever you cast a legendary spell from your hand, exile cards to the top of your library until you exile legendary non-land card with less than mana value. You may cast it paying its mana cost, but the rest of your library, random order. Basically, legendary Cascade. Essentially, this is a commander that could have probably stopped at that first part and been like, yeah, I pump legends, cool, awesome, everyone, go, swing, yay! And then it was like, you know what, let's just turn it up to 11, Spinal Tap anyone, and all of a sudden go, hey, you know what, whenever you're playing legends, you get free legends. Which legend? Legend. Basically. Yeah, this is one where, again, literally just like one turn, if left unchecked, can just go absolutely crazy. Playing a legend to hit another giant legend, to then pump all the legends, you need to stop this one early and often. Things are just heating up, and I already actually referenced this one, but yeah, Corvold. With Tulane again, when Wizards was trying to push the little Brawl decks, and they were like, yeah, everyone's gonna love Brawl, it's great. Alright, no one? Okay, but you bought the decks, but you're not playing them in person. Yeah, Brawl does have a community, obviously, on Arena. Not really in person very much, Wizards. No one really transitioned over to that one. That being said, a 4/4 Dragon Noble flying for 5 mana in Jund that is super pushed because you wanted Brawl to be a thing. Brawl's not a thing. Anyways, when it enters the battlefield or attacks, sacrifice another permanent. I should say not a thing in person again. Whenever you sacrifice a permanent, put a counter on Corvold and draw a card. Yeah, this is insane value. This is absurd value. This is, hey, we also just made treasures recently too, really, and it's becoming more of a thing. And by the way, now sacrificing a treasure gets a counter on this, which, yeah, that's just thrown in there. But draw a card? My gosh. Or, like, if you Harrow, you're like, yeah, sacrifice a land. Oh, cool, I draw a card off of that. Oh, Evolving Wilds. Oh, I sacrifice that. I draw a card off of that. It's insane, the value you can get. The amount of time your turns are going to take with this one is incredible. And obnoxious. Yeah, if you're playing against Corvold, kill it with fire right away. Kill it with all the fire. I mean, and all the other things too. But yeah, get rid of it because it's insane. It's absurd, and it will just miscellaneously Voltron take you out because that's just the thing with it too. Because it also again gains counters for some reason when you sacrifice the things, and it didn't need that. It just needed the draw to actually be absolutely pushed and broken. Corvold, kill it with fire. Here's a card that might surprise you if you've never seen it before, and if you see that little symbol in the corner and you're like, oh, it's uncommon. Wow, there's no way it can be that good. Sometimes Wizards makes boo-boos, and this is a boo-boo that they made. I mean, luckily for people who want to play it, it's really cheap because it is an uncommon and it's been reprinted, but yeah, 9 cents for this one. It is a card, though, that is like mythic level proportions of actual power. A 3/3 Merfolk Druid for 5 mana in Simic Tetiova Benthic Druid. Whenever a land enters battlefield under control, you gain 1 life. Oh, that's cute. Draw a card. Oh my gosh. Again, marrying up the benefit of, hey, you know what's good in Commander, or just Magic in general? Getting lands out, because lands, especially in Commander, are a protected resource. Basically, like, you don't touch them in Casual. You just don't blow up lands in Casual. There's no mass land destruction in Casual Commander. And also, by the way, yeah, you get to draw cards when you do that. So again, incentivizing you heavily to go land. Oh, I draw. Oh, extra lands this turn? Okay, land. Oh, draw. Oh, extra ram spells. Draw. Yeah, being able to just go, oh, okay, I've got 20 lands in play already and a full hand, and all of a sudden I'm like, yeah, what do I do now? Play all these massive cards and I win. Cool. Yeah, it is a crazy good card. Never should have been uncommon, but it is one where it is a value engine. If you leave it unchecked, the player is going to have a million lands in play. Well, not a million, right? Again, yes, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but a lot of lands in play and a massive hand too. Here comes a spicy one, though, with Mulrotha, the Gravetide, the commander that took over Commander for a while. I mean, yeah, this one used to, I believe, be the #1 commander for a while. It's still very popular, but still a 6/6 elemental avatar for 6 mana. And all of a sudden, it says, hey, you know what? During each of your turns, you may play a land and cast a permanent spell of each permanent type from your graveyard. This Sultai commander is one where if you actually leave it unchecked, where you don't actually have any graveyard interaction, which you should be playing some graveyard interaction just to make sure, because, even if it's just a Bazooka Bog, you can throw a giant wrench into this commander's plans. And if you don't, you might be in big trouble because, yeah, this is basically, hey, when I mill or sacrifice things or discard things or whatever, it just basically goes back into my hand. Yeah, absolutely insane. So just being able to go oh yeah, I play this one card that milled half my library, or again, sometimes you can I don't know, maybe exchange your library. Wizards, reprint it, please. Yeah, there are certain cards out there like Morality Shift that I love that have never been reprinted. And yeah, it's absolutely insane with this. Being able to go, okay, I switch my library, my graveyard. It's oh, okay, my graveyard has 60 cards in it. That's a hand. That's a handful of Mulrotha. Yeah, you are limited to one of each kind each turn, permanent type to actually play. But still, you basically have a massive secondary hand that you can keep getting again and again and again with certain things like, oh, I got a Spore Frog in play. I sacrifice the Spore Frog. I play the Spore Frog again. Everyone loves Spore Frog, right? But yeah, if it is left unchecked, Mulrotha the Gravetide is an absurd value engine. You need to stop it or it will take over. Wait until you see this next one because, well, Tiny Bones is super cute. And here's the thing. I just want to say this right now. Tiny Bones is a commander that is super cute. Look at the art. It's adorable. Little tiny skeleton dude that's oh, I'm stealing things. I'm cute. Yay. Lovely, lovely, lovely. If it didn't have that adorable art and didn't have an amazing name like Tiny Bones, if it was Brothkar, the Decimator of Brains, and it was just the most gross picture you've ever seen of, I don't even know what kind of a horrific monster, it would not see anywhere near as much play. But because it does see some play and it is adorable, it kind of hides just how absolutely just devastating this can be. This is in the category of decimators, I should say. Because it can just decimate everything, and if it's left unchecked, there's no chance your opponents have of doing anything ever again. A 1/2 Skeleton Rogue for 2 mana in black. At the beginning of each end step, an opponent discard a card this turn. You draw a card, and you lose 1 life. By paying 6 mana, each opponent with no cards in hand loses 10 life. That's nice. I mean, but opponents are just going to be begging for mercy at the end, begging for it to be over at the end. And you probably don't even have to activate that. They're just going to be can we just quit? And then we can play another game because, all you're doing is just making us discard cards. Again, basically, at the beginning of each end step, you are incentivized for opponents to discard a card on every single turn. So all of a sudden, you're oh yeah, discard. Okay, discard. Okay, discard. Okay, discard. Wait, you don't have any cards in your hand anymore? What are you all doing? Why don't you have cards? I've got cards. I've got so many cards. Why don't you have cards? Being able to just go, oh yeah, by the way, you all are just top decking for the rest of the game now. Good luck. See what happens. Yeah, not going to go well. Tiny Bones, scary. Okay, again, I am very sorry. One of my most popular episodes of all time is my 99 lands deck with Child of Lara, and I am very sorry that I unleashed that on the world. That is a deck, I will say, that is quite fun. Fun for you, I should say. It is interesting, obviously, it being 99 lands and a commander, and it works. But it is one where you do need to ask your playgroup ahead of time, and I believe I do mention that in the episode too. But ask your playgroup ahead of time, because Child of Alara is one where, again, if left unchecked, which checking it is incredibly tough to do, it is going to be tough. It is going to be very tough. A 6/6 Avatar Trample for 5 mana. The best color combination, in my opinion. Wooburg. When it dies, draw non-land permanents. They can't be regenerated. Yeah, basically a ticking time bomb in the command zone that you just play. You're hi, okay. Who wants to reset everything again? Yeah, this is really, really hard to stop. Again, opponents, you need, a way to make it not die. So you need, like, all exile effects, basically. I mean, bounce effects, too, but they'll just replay it. And, yeah, you need to get that commander tax up there. But again, if you're playing 99 lands, you're guaranteed to hit the hit the commander tax every 2 turns, basically. You need to basically keep exiling this again and again and again. And you need to make sure that that player doesn't have any, like, free sacrifice outlets or an absurd amount of ways to sacrifice it that can just get around you trying to exile, like, 3 times in a row. You need to keep dealing with it, or it's going to deal with everything again and again and again and again and again. If left unchecked, Maha, Its Feathers Knight is a nightmare. There we go. Its Feathers Nightmare. There we go. A 6/5 elemental bird with Flample for 5 mana. And again, if you just showed that to someone back in the day, 30 years ago, they'd be like, what? What? 6/5 with flying control? What's the downside? Oh, the downside is it's got ward, discard a card. They'd be like, what in the world's ward? Well, it's just protection, basically. And by the way, creature supposed to control base toughness 1. Oh, so no downside, all upside, and just absolutely absurd. Again, literally, hey, if this is on the table, the entire game is changed. If left unchecked, all your opponent's creatures are super tiny when it comes to toughness, which means it's so easy to take them out. Literally anything will take them out. Basically, everything's got death touch in a way. But of course, that's not all, because you're probably going to have other ways if you're the Maha player to go, oh, all creatures get -1/-1. And all of a sudden, your opponents can't have creatures in play. And literally, the game is at a standstill for your opponents, but you are just absolutely decimating your opponents with your 6/5 Flampling Bird and all your other things, too. Yeah, you got to check it, or you're going to get checked out. Okay, super quick with this one because I despise Turid. Turid, God of Salt. Yeah, they never should have made this. 4/5 God with Menace for 5 mana in black. Whenever opponent sacrifice a non-token permanent or discards a permanent card, you may put that card from a graveyard on the battlefield under control. This is It That Betrays, but it is so much cheaper mana-wise. I mean, like, half the cost, more than half the cost. And also, it is even better than It That Betrays. And it's too easy. Basically, any kind of immediate effect, any kind of discard effect, you steal things. That's basically what this does. It's a value engine. Oh, and by the way, on the backside, if you've got infinite mana, you just win the game. Ledger Artifact for 4. Tap target player loses 3 life for this. Sacrifice a non-land permanent or discard a card. Pay 4, untap it. Yeah, Torment of Hailfire, but basically on a commander, kind of in a way. And again, infinite mana, you just win. That being said, again, yeah, this one, if left unstopped, this will decimate absolutely everything. It will steal absolutely everything, and it's salty. Don't play it, please. I mean, again, you can build whatever decks you want, but you need to ask ahead of time for this one. You absolutely have to. There is no excuse for it to be like, I can't believe you all don't want to play against Turid. Yeah. No, you need to ask. And some player groups are okay with it, absolutely, but others, no. There's a reason why this is one of the most salty cards in Commander right now. Next category, though, mana monsters. And Azusa is most definitely a mana monster. Lost but Seeking. A commander that's been popular for quite a long time, and for a good reason. A 1/2 human monk for 3 mana in green. You may play 2 additional lands on each of your turns. Super simple, super effective, but it's like, oh yeah, hey, play 2 more lands. Oh, 2 more lands. Oh, 2 more lands. You're playing 3 lands a turn, if you can keep up. And yeah, in green, again, back in the day, maybe you didn't have all the card draw, but now green's like, you can draw cards. You can do this. You can do that. Green does everything. Anyways, someone at Wizards is just like, I'm a huge green fan, and I think green should be better. And for some reason, they're able to do whatever they want and make that happen. Anyways, yeah, just being able to just dump a ton of lands into play, you're going to be overflowing the board with mana on your side of the table. You're going to be able to take over by playing the biggest spells to play more lands, to get more lands, to get more spells. You see where that's going. Speaking of mana, though, Marwin has something to say about that. A 1/1 Elf Druid for 3 mana in green. Whenever Elf enters battlefield, control, put a counter on Marwin. Tap that amount of green equal to Marwin's power. This is one where if you've never played against Marwin, you might not expect all that much. You're like, oh, there's better elf commanders out there. But you don't even have to build elves. In fact, the one that I built was not elf, basically. Like, there might have been a couple elves in there, but, like, it was definitely not elf tribal. And in that way, you're like, oh, okay, hey, Marwin? Yeah? All right, let's get you a lot of power, okay, like a Black Blade or Forged or whatnot. Okay, awesome, cool. I've got, like, 10 power now. Okay, go tap for 10. Cool. All right, I'm going to play this 1 mana spell in which there are, like, 18 of those in this deck where I untap you. And then you tap again. Okay, sweet. And then I cast this giant draw spell in green, because again, green's got giant draw spells. And then I draw a ton of cards. Oh, and then I can untap you again. Okay, sweet. And then I get you more power. Okay, sweet. And then, yeah, you get so much mana that you just had a green storm deck and you finish everyone off with like a hurricane or something. Have fun. Finally, though, Salva, Heart of the Wilds, a 2/3 Elf Scout for 3 mana and green. Whenever the creature enters the battlefield, it's control mage draw a card if its power is greater than each other creature's power. Again, when you see this commander, you're like, oh, I might be able to draw some cards. If you're playing against it, you're like, no, that's not happening at all. By paying a green, you tap it at X mana, any combination of colors, or X the grace power when creatures you control. Here's the thing. Power can be cheap in Commander. You can get super powerful creatures out very, very easily. I mean, like, Gigantosaurus is, what, like 5 mana, and it's a 10/10? You can also get Gulta out for, like, basically nothing, like 2 mana, and it's a 12/12. And you're like, oh, okay, cool, by the way, I get all this mana. Oh, by the way, I got these ways to untap it. Oh, maybe even some infinite ways to untap it. Oh, I'm drawing cards at the same time. Yeah, again, if left unchecked, and against a low-to-the-ground commander, you need to deal with it right away, and then you need to keep dealing with it. It's really hard to stop. Salva will take over the game. And with that, this episode is coming to a close. Comment below with your thoughts on it. And of course, as always, thanks again and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.